You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Hey there, History Gang! I'm Sab Schnabel, historian and host of WhatsApp Araling Panlipunan Rebooted. And I've written all of our episodes on a computer, with some help from my trusty notebook. It's been a while since typewriters were the go-to choice for Filipinos. But if you know where to look, the love for them is still alive. Our friend Franco of the Teka Teka News podcast went to Quiapo to meet one of the last typewriter craftsmen in Manila. Possibly the Philippines. Happy listening!
Arriving at Recto Terminal Station. Pabarating na sa Recto Terminal Station.
Hello, good morning. Nandito kami sa Comandante Street sa Quiapo. Malapit lang sa Recto Station. Heading towards the shop of Sir Gerald Cha. Maraming junk shop dito. I see a lot of trading shops. They're selling air compressors, spare parts for bikes, motorcycles, and cars. There's a TV store here. Like in most places, itong shop ni Sir Gerald, ito ang nag-iisang typewriter shop possibly sa buong Maynila. Ito na tayo, tara, pasok tayo.
Nag-start ako ng typewriter 1995. After ko mag-graduate ng high school, tamad na mag-aral, pinasok akong helper sa typewriter shop. 1995 yon. Hanggang 1998, medyo natuto ako.
Gerald de la Cruz's shop is a small lengthwise basement space. There are shelves on either side stacked with typewriters and spare parts. He was working on a project next to his cat when I arrived. At first, working for a typewriter business was just a means for Gerald and his family to get by. He didn't realize then the journey that awaited him, one that would span the rest of his life. It was just a job back then, but as he gained proficiency with the machines, so too did his love for them grow.
Kasi kung namamasuka lang ako, minimum wage lang ako, di ba? Yung minimum wage, kakasya ba makabuhay ng pamilya yun? Ngayon, ito naman, swertehan nga, kung may benta, minsan kikita ka ng 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day. Sa repair, kikita ka rin ng 1,000 up, ganon. Iba-iba. Kaysa naman yung namamasukan ka na ano.
Typewriters have a long and storied history in the Philippines. They were first introduced in the late 19th century and quickly became an essential tool for businesses, government agencies, and journalists. For many years, typewriters were the primary way to produce documents in the Philippines. They were used to write everything from news articles to government reports to love letters. They were also a symbol of status and success. Owning a typewriter meant that you were educated and had a good job. As time passed and more complex and functional machines like computers and cell phones emerged, people gradually lost interest in and stopped using typewriters altogether. This forced many stores to close up shop.
Ayun, ngayon, pinagtatawanan pa nga ako ng iba dyan eh. Kasi nagsara lahat eh. Tapos pati boss ko nagsara, ako nagbukas.
Opo. So ito na yung nag-iisang typewriter shop dito? Or may isa
hindi,
pa?
marami pa rin.
Marami pa
siguro
rin?
Tatlo kami.
Tatlo na lang. Dati ilan
ayun,
pa
dami yun. Sa ibang list.
We're pausing for a quick break now. When we return, let's talk about the legacy of typewriters and where they might go next. The decline of typewriters began in the 1980s with the rise of personal computers and word processing software. PCs were more efficient and versatile than typewriters, and they quickly became the preferred choice for businesses and individuals alike. When personal computers first came out, they were very expensive. But as the technology got better and the prices went down, more and more people started buying them. By the early 2000s, typewriters had become obsolete. They were still used in some government offices and schools, but they were no longer the norm. As computers became mainstream, customers slowly lost interest.
Pero kung karamihan sa mga tao, computer syempre, di ba? Laptop, computer. Saka isa pa, maraming nagsasabi, minsan dadaan dyan. Obsolete na yan eh.
May nagsasabi?
Oo, marami. Siya, nainis ako nung doon ako na malapit na ako magsara, tandaan ko. Mahina na noon, tapos may customer yung kasama ko. Sabi, phase out na yan ah. Siyempre, nasaktan ako. Ang sinabi ko sa kanya, pag namatay ka, yung typewriter gagamitin sa pangalan mo, death certificate eh.
Even the parts he needs to build typewriters are no longer in circulation.
Pagka talaga mga ilang years pa o baka 10 years from now, konti na lang eh. Kasi wala naman may nagmamanufacture nga ngayon. Kaso China, ang bilis na masira, hindi na nagtatagal. Hindi kagaya ng mga to. Ngayon buti may nabibili pa ako, kahit sa junk shop may nabibili pa ako eh. Kaso lang talaga, baka dumating pa noon baka wala nang mabilang typewriter eh. Marami sa ibang bansa kaso mahal.
Even Gerald has to admit, they're more of a passion project now than a sustainable business to keep families afloat.
Kung para sa akin, wag nilang gawin full-time na. Kung ipo-full-time nila na tas bubuhay ka ng pamilya, kaya mabubuhay mo pero 50-50. Kailangan pa rin may isang nagtatrabaho kayo ng misis ko office. Kasi pag full-time tas ilan yung pinag-aaral mo, hindi kakayanin. Ang mahal ang bilihin ngayon, Diyos ko. 1,000 para 100 na lang. Upa pa. Diba, 8,000. Meralco bills, tubig. Ang dami. Kaya kung may gusto pang gumawa ng typewriter, mag-isip-isip na.
Today, typewriters are largely a relic of a bygone era. Gerald said more people took interest in typewriters when television shows that showcased vintage items aired, TV shows like Pawn Stars. But that doesn't mean there aren't any people still using them for work and writing, especially since they still have a place in the hearts of many Filipinos.
Meron pa rin. May mga government pa rin. Kahit mga presinto, may typewriter pa rin. Tapos yan nga, yung sa birth certificate sa mga munisipyo, yan, Quezon City Hall dati, gumagawa ko. Mga birth certificate, typewriter pa rin ginagamit. IDs, doon sa misis ko, sa office sila, typewriter, pang ID lang. Pang ID. Saka yung iba rin pala sa pang-resibo kasi pag nag-printer daw sila, hindi tumatapat to sa linya.
Gerald says there's something special about the experience of correcting a typo with liquid paper, maintaining precision when typing, or getting your hands all grimy when replacing the typewriter ribbon. Those are intimate physical engagements with your own writing that the computer can never give you.
Ito, hindi bawal magkamali. Walang delito, mas feel mo rito yung Pero alam mo, kung ito matanggal, alam ko na kung anong pisa yan. Basta kabisado ko na siya lang. Sa tagal, ito lang talaga alam ko trabaho. Wala na.
Even though typewriters are no longer widely used, there is still a small but thriving industry of typewriter craftsmanship in the Philippines.
Sa paggagawa ka ng nobela o short story, mas feel nila yung typewriter eh. May customer ako na ganun. Talagang puro typewritten siya. Yung iba sa cheque, gamit pa rin. Pan-cheque. Kasi iba-ibang style meron kakaiba yung lalo yung dikit-dikit, script tawag, yun, mabiling-mabili yun. Kasi parang nag-shorten ka ng dikit-dikit May marami pa rin. Nga lang, hindi na ganun kasing lakas talaga.
Yung mga araw na buong araw, wala talaga.
Minsan 3 days straight, 4 days straight, wala ako eh. Wala.
Gerald only hopes that younger Filipinos are aware of the history of typewriters here.
Makita nila yung mga nila, yung lolo-lola nila, nanay-tatay nila na nung araw, ito gamit para mabuhay sila. Na ito yung ginagamit sa opisina, sa lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno. Pero yung tuwan-tuwa naman sila, yung mga tumatalon-talon po pag bumibili ng typewriter.
Craftsmen like Gerald play an important role in preserving the history of typewriters in the Philippines. They also help to keep these machines alive for the people who still love to use them. As for Gerald, he still owns typewriters outside of the ones he repairs. He says he doesn't use them very often, but he likes to keep them around to remind him of a different time, when things were slower and simpler.
Minsan nga, dumarating yung time, sasawa na ako. Kaso, pag dumarating yung mga bayarin ko, tapos kailangan ng anak ko, wala. Yun lang talaga. Hanggang nakasalamin na ako, dati wala kasalamin. Ngayon, lumabo na yung mata ko.
So, passion niyo po talaga.
Oo. Siyempre, talagang mahal ko itong
first love niyo po.
Imagine kung wala yung typewriter. Baka janitor ako dyan, titinda ako sa vendor, di ba?
But more than anything else, they serve as a reminder for Gerald of where he came from. After getting into typewriters at 16, he's 45 now, and all his kids have graduated college. Here he is again.
Yun lang ko talaga, itong bumuhay sa pamilya ko yung typewriter. Tapos ito lang talagang nag-iisang alam kong trabaho. Kasi hindi naman ako nakapag-aral. Pag-graduate high school, wala na. Pinag-aaral ako ng lola ko, tamad na ako Kasi pag dito ka lumaki sa Maynila, nauna yung barkada Kaya mga anak ko lahat sa probinsya ko dinali. Baka mahahawa sa akin. Ay, buti naman, mababait sila kayo. Nakagraduate na, pag-graduate yung dala.
And that was today's episode of Teka Teka News. If you want to give Sir Gerald a visit, his shop is at 1665 Comandante Street in Quiapo, Manila, across from the LRT2 Recto station. Again, I'm Franco Luna. This episode was edited by Joe Salcedo. Our Teka Teka News executive producer is Jill Caro, and our senior editor is Veronica Uy. If you found this episode useful, share it with a friend. Help Teka Teka News reach more people and keep the show going. Thanks for listening.